just like the fat girl.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back for a little morning commute on the 208 horsepower Street Fighter. Let's get into it. Alright, it is a cold morning, so we're gonna give this thing a little warm up. It's still on stock exhaust, so I don't think the neighbors will mind too much, but let's see what happens here. Look at that. People complain that the bike doesn't like the cold. Thank you guys for joining me here on my little commute in the morning. It's always pretty to look at the scenery though, even though it is foggy. Now my commute is about 35 miles, which is quite a bit, but the area that I work in is more expensive, and if I want to have toys like this, I have to work a little farther away. But honestly, it makes for greater videos because I have so much time between my work and home to make videos like this. Here comes the great part about Ducatis in the wintertime. They have a lot of heat to give off, so that you have a lot of heat coming up to your legs, and then eventually to your arms, but not as much. They do make OEM heated grips, and I was really debating getting some of those because I feel like that would be a great addition, and they're OEM. You just press this button, and whenever they are installed and flash into the bike, you're able to use them. What the hell was he doing? I wanted to just show you guys what a commute on a bike with this much power is like, to show you that it's kind of like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde sort of thing, where it is, holy, that is what our local Dunkin' looks like. Jeez. In the mornings at 7:30 in the morning. But I wanted to give you guys a little sense of how tame this thing can be and how nice it is to daily ride, to be honest. The bike is finally starting to warm up, but I knew it was going to take a while. It'll be worth it for the afternoon. It's supposed to be 65 today, so I feel like the afternoon commute will be much better. Daily 150 complete. Since the oil change, the motor that I put in is actually quite good. I was surprised at how much it affected the shifts. I did tighten the chain a little bit too, so that could have helped, but it really took a lot of the, I don't know, kind of clunkiness out of it. And it might have been also that I was still on technically my second oil change. It was the one after the break-in, so it might have had some particulate or whatever. It might have been just pretty used. So, oh, we might get a green light here, which is awesome. This bridge is down to one lane, so being able to go across without waiting at this light is awesome. Sweet. That was perfect. Holy riptides. F it, we're gonna do a little pull here. This wasn't the original way I was gonna go, but when you get a green arrow, you gotta take it. Woo! Now that's fun. The bike actually cooled down. I've never seen it do that. It went from 2 bars to 1 bar on the coolant. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but I've never had it do that. I've also never ridden it in this cold weather, so that could be another part of it, but still. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it so far. I am starting to not need coffee if I do this. This is great. Again, don't really need coffee when I'm doing this stuff. Woo! Woo! Oh, it has a little ice indicator. I didn't even see that on the dash. That's cool. Wow. This thing is a different animal in the cold. Holy crap. Knock on wood, but I'm not uncomfortably cold. Like, my fingers are getting a little cold, but I'm not to a point where I'm very uncomfortable. And we're probably about, I don't know, maybe about a third to halfway there. So, not bad at all. This is such a fun section. I've introed a few videos here. not that early, but it's early enough for me to need coffee usually. Not today, I'll tell you that. God, this is annoying. My visor keeps getting all nasty. Oh, everything's getting nasty. Look at it. You guys are still with me though. I was afraid the cold would affect the GoPro's battery a little bit, and maybe it does, but as of right now, we're still good. I love waving to the Amish kids. They're always super nice. If you guys have made it this far into the video, I'll give you a little peek on what's coming up. I purchased an exhaust, and it's not a name brand exhaust in the slightest. It's not even the CS exhaust, like I said in the last video. It is 100% coming from China, and it's eBay. So stay tuned. I haven't seen any videos on an eBay exhaust with these bikes, probably for good reason. But like, why wouldn't that make great content? Let's see how it fits. Let's see how it tunes, if it's hard to tune for. And let's see what kind of power it makes. And the sound, obviously, but I think the sound regardless. I mean, this bike just makes an awesome sound regardless of whatever pipe you have on it. As long as it's not like an open header situation, because that's the only time I've heard this thing sound pretty bad. This thing has stayed on 1 bar of coolant temperature this entire ride. That is ridiculous. I've never ever had, it's usually 3 when it gets hot and then 2 just riding everywhere else. But this thing has been 1 almost the entire ride. The only time it goes to 2 is when I'm stopped. That's crazy. My legs are just now starting to get a little chilly, and we're like 25 minutes into the ride, and it's showing 37 degrees, guys. 37. I don't know if you'll see it. I'll try to zoom if I can. Keep it steady here. It's a little brisk this morning, so my legs will be a tiny bit chilly when I get into work, but you know what? Sacrifices had to be made for this channel, and I'm willing to do it. Gotta do little whoopsies. Oh, I was in the wrong gear. But you can see this thing is perfectly fine for dailying. Yes, it's a track weapon, but man, can it behave on the streets like every other motorcycle I've owned. Honestly, better. The throttle response is way better on the stock tune with this than it has been on any of my previous ones. So if the question is, can you commute on a Street Fighter? The answer is, hell yes you can. And you won't need to bring a cup of coffee with you. The thing that annoys me the most about some of the reviews, and I get maybe they're locked in by some sort of contract or whatever, but I watch these reviews of this motorcycle and they're not even going hard on it. Like, no offense to any of the other creators on YouTube, but some of these guys, they'll just like putz this thing around and maybe get to like 10 grand. They don't ever really give it the full beans, and that's like the reason you watch videos, right? It's to ream this thing out, it's to listen to it, it's to do what it does best. Which is kind of ironic with me making a commute video right now, because that's obviously not what it's meant to do. We finally hit 2 bars of coolant temp, good. I think cruising at like 60, it's able to actually heat back up a little. I know the oil's up to temp, so I'm fine with that, because this is just coolant temp. Oil's been up to temp now for a little while, so I'm not bothered by getting on it at all, if that's what you guys are wondering. God, sounds so good. Can't wait till this exhaust comes in. I feel like you guys are either gonna love or you're gonna hate the exhaust. I feel like I'm gonna really like it, because I know I only paid $300 for it, and like all these other people are paying like what, $2,000 to like $10,000. No thanks. I'm about to pull into work, so as always guys, I really appreciate you watching the video. I hope you enjoyed my little commute. I figured it'd be nice to show that this thing can behave and be an animal and has insane capabilities regardless of what you want it for. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll catch you on the next one.